Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to be here. I'm nervous. I don't, that was a great presentation on my lives. I'm not going to be able to follow that, so thank you, Colleen, very much. So the topic this morning, and I'm trying to turn so I can see my slides, is blessed are those who give thanks. And to begin, I got it upside down. I'd like to read from Psalms 100, verses 4 and 5. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. And then also I wanted to quote you do know the song from Godspell, All Good Gifts? It's a little older. Famous song. All good gifts around us. That song. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord. Oh, thank the Lord for all his love. We thank thee then, O Father, for all good things, good and bright and good. And it goes on. So I thought I could begin the message this morning by remembering that good things come from God. In the end, they are good things. In the course that we follow, sometimes they don't seem so good. So first, let's begin with the definition of the word thanksgiving. So I looked it up in the dictionary. We use the word, but do we know what it means? I didn't actually know what it meant fully. From the dictionary, it says that thanksgiving is the expression of gratitude, especially to God. Included in the definition is an expression of thanksgiving to God. And then interestingly, the synonyms for thanksgiving include appreciativeness. So when you give thanks, you're actually feeling an appreciation towards whatever you're thanking for, God, our brothers and sisters, etc. Thanksgiving also implies a certain sense of indebtedness. Wow. That we have received and we are now indebted. And we are beholding, in a way, to those from whom we receive. Another synonym is tribute. In other words, to pay tribute, to give, to offer something in return for what you've received. And then, of course, that includes acknowledgement. Acknowledging the other, God, our brother, our sister, etc. So, thanksgiving is an expression of gratitude. Thanksgiving does not mean thanks-taking. We do take the things, but actually it doesn't end there. And it doesn't mean also that we expect to be thanked, right? Or we're expecting others to thank us. It's actually the contrary. I only mention this because sometimes we kind of behave this way. I know I do. Right? You're expecting people to be grateful to you. But Thanksgiving and the celebration of Thanksgiving is giving tribute to others from whom you have received. So, Colleen explained about a traditional Thanksgiving. I'm not going to go into the historical Thanksgiving today, but it is a time to count your blessings. It's wonderful to take time. True Father always talked about marking milestones or moments, holy days, celebrations, beginning of the year, beginning of the month, taking time to really stop and think and appreciate, to know where you are, where you've come from, and where you're going. Kind of mark your progress. So Thanksgiving is a wonderful time. Now, it can be just a day for football and turkey, and stuffing. And it is all those things. But if we use the opportunity in our family gathering to really be thankful for what we have, it's gives it so much more meaning, so much more impact, and something that you look forward to every year. And fundamentally, then, Thanksgiving in the most fundamental sense is offering our thanks to God, our gratitude to God. So I was talking to my wife this morning. I don't know if the younger folks know this song. Do you know this song? Do they still teach it in school? Yeah. I love this song. I absolutely love this song. Over the river and through the woods. How many know this song? Okay, good number. Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the bright and drifted snow. And it goes on, and it says, over the river and through the woods, trot fast my dappled gray. That's the horse, right? Gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound on this Thanksgiving day. And there's several verses, and actually, when I was looking for the lyrics, there's many different versions of this song. Sometimes it's to grandfather's house, not grandmother, and sometimes you're doing different things, and some of them talk about pumpkin pie and others don't. But it's a family gathering. So I learned this song in the first grade, and I remember this song so clearly. My teacher teaching it to us in first grade, in our little school that I went to school in Arkansas when I was in first grade. And so I just remember that song, and every Thanksgiving this comes to mind. And the thing that, as a child, I most looked forward to at Thanksgiving was going to my grandparents' house. Just being together as a family. We lived far away from each other, lived in another state, but we would go. And my grandparents are from the South. Chicken and dumplings. Oh my goodness, just melt in your mouth. The chicken just comes right off the bone, and then the dumplings are so creamy. Just love that. So as a child, I was drawn to that. Only later in my life did I even learn about the Pilgrims and history and the meaning of coming together. So I think that it's good to begin these kind of traditions, not this tradition, but any tradition when we're young, when the children are young. So I want to talk about our family right now, just to begin. Colleen talked about our gratitude tree. So this is a picture of one of our gratitude trees from years past. We take construction paper and we cut out, we usually just get the grandchildren. The brown, you can't really see it in the picture because the contrast is not good, but there's a brown construction paper that forms the trunks and the branches. And so you tape it up on the door. And so in the beginning, it's just the trunk and the branches. But then you cut out all these different colored oval-shaped leaves, or what were supposed to be leaves. And then we have them on the table, and everybody comes and writes what their gratitude is. And each one sticks their leaf up. And then at some point, we all share with each other, usually standing close to the tree, what we wrote. And it's a wonderful thing. So it really is, you feel great, you write down what you're grateful for. Dr. Young is teaching us to keep a gratitude journal, right? It's very similar to that. It's meaningful when you write it down and affirm it that way. Right? So we do this every year. I'm looking forward to it again this year. And so when I think of Thanksgiving in our home, I think of my wife's pies. These are her pies that she made one Thanksgiving, And my favorite, I have to say, is pumpkin. I accept to say it's pumpkin. So I'm thankful for that on this level. I'm also grateful for my family. So everybody has a photo album of their family. These are some pictures of our children, their spouses, and our grandchildren. And really, what a blessing, particularly in our Heavenly Parents' Holy Community, to have first, second, and third generation now in history. When we really think about how valuable and wonderful each of them, what a blessing it is to have received the marriage blessing, to have second generation, third generation, now fourth generation born. Our family is dispersed. We live happily with Daniela, our eldest daughter, and her husband, David, and their two children, Dimitri and Delta. Our son, Micah, is in Australia with two daughters, Lucia and Celeste, and his wife, Sarah. And our third child, our second daughter, Hannah, is in Reno with her husband, Edwin, and their son, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. But also, I'm very, very grateful for True Parents. Not just my immediate physical family. Everything that we have as a community, who we are, in this age is because of True Parents. Of course, it's because of Heavenly Parents. Because of True Parents. So I feel deep gratitude for everything that we have received, that I have received. Everything that I've been able to do in my life since a young man is because of True Parents. Everything goes back to them. I'm also very grateful to Jesus. He played a very important role in my early life, in my life of faith. So I always think of Jesus when I think, who am I grateful for? But I'm also very, very grateful for this community. I think we all are. And I think we're learning the richness of everyone that's in this community. The varied stories and backgrounds. The fact that we are from so many different communities from around the world coming to this place. And even if you're born in this country, the different lineages and ethnicities that everybody here represents. We are really a truly diverse. We may not think so, but we're really a harmonious group. And I say that the other day, I have a photograph there in the center with our dear brother, Chen. I accompanied Mrs. Fong and Mr. Breland to visit Reverend Glidden, who was gracious enough to open his church to us. It's an amazing thing that he did that. And our brother John had taken a wonderful photograph of him at the cemetery service at the Songwa. And Mrs. Fong wanted to offer it to him as a gift, so we went on Friday. He was really surprised. On the phone, when I called to make the appointment, he says, "Really? I mean, she wants to say thank you again? You know? Of course, I'd be happy to receive you." So we went. She gave the photograph to him. He was just delighted. It's a beautiful photograph. Wish maybe we could share it somewhere online or something. Beautiful photograph of him reading from the liturgy, at the cemetery. But then as we were talking, one thing that he said stuck with me, and this is about our community. The chief warden, who was the second in command at the Episcopal Church, he told Reverend Glidden that the members of our church were amazing. Such wonderful people. He didn't have to say that to us. But he said it from the heart. And then Greg will remember what he said after that. He said, "It's just like the early Christians." Wow. The early Christians were spirit-filled, filled with the Spirit of God. So he came, that was his impression of us. I think we tend to see more heart problems than anything else. But from the outside, we are an amazing group. And I think we need to offer in this season our thanksgiving to God for having the privilege and honor of being a part of this community, with all the struggles that entails. So this is, I took a picture, I showed the picture that came the other day from our Holy Day. And then the picture on the far left is our Spanish-speaking group, Yay, Arriba, right? At our empanada competition that we had the other day, right? And you see on the table all the different empanadas that people created from the different countries. We had a vote, and Venezuela won. Colombia won. So, above all, though, I think we need to be grateful for our Heavenly Parent. We have a Heavenly Parent who is a God of true love, who loves and cares for every one of us, individually and collectively. God is a parent who guides and instructs He corrects us, he pushes us, he supports us, all for the purpose of helping us to grow. Everything in our life, from God's point of view, is for our growth. And really, this is the center of everything. True Father told us at the very center of what he discovered after years of searching, at the very center of truth of the universe, is that between God and man there is this parent-child relationship. And so a parent, those of us who are parents, we're always trying to guide. We're worried about our children. We're always trying to give them guidance and help them. We will try to correct them when we can. Right? We will push them when it's hard for them to take the step, but we'll always be there to support them, whatever happens. This is what a parent is doing. So with that, I want to introduce to you Owen. Owen Hunter Gravrant. This is the son of our son-in-law, Edwin, and our daughter, Hannah. He's 2 years old. And this picture was taken recently. And next to that is the closest image I could find of an airplane that he has that's his, in his home. But I brought this airplane today. So, Colleen spent some time shortly after the birth of Owen in Nevada. I went there shortly for a few days. So we had known him from a distance, really. And then in August, he came to visit, his family came to visit. And they had already gotten home. I had been somewhere. They were at home, they had arrived, and Owen was playing in the living room. And, we know him from Zoom. These are all Zoom meetings, And you wonder, is my grandson going to know who I am? Is he going to recognize me? What will we be able to relate together? And so Owen doesn't really speak yet. He says a few words that are kind of like words. And so he was in the far side